I'm Zoe Argyropoulos-Hunter from the City of Ottawa's Nightlife Office, and you're joining us here at FONO in the heart of Centertown, and this is Ottawa at Night. Keep up with the night owls making our city buzz from sunset to sunrise grâce à ce podcast officiel de la Ville d'Ottawa, présenté par le Bureau de la Vie Nocturne. There's a reason why people like me, born and raised in Ottawa, have never left. From bartenders to venue operators, musicians, and more, Ottawa at Night brings community together, and I'm joined here by three amazing community members from Ottawa's nightlife scene. Thanks so much for being here on the show today.
Merci d'être là. Thank you so much.
Hot dog.
So I'll start with some introductions. First, Remi, toy collector by day, crooner by night, local legend 24/7. You used to be a host on CKCU. How does it feel to be back on the mic?
It feels pretty good, but I'm still always on the mic, you know.
À la prochaine, c'est Yolande Laroche, musicienne, prof de musique et talentueuse maman d'un petit chihuahua. Merci d'être là, Yolande.
Merci
Vous étiez
beaucoup.
avec vos élèves avant de venir sur l'émission. Comment c'est allé?
Je leur ai raconté que j'étais pour passer à la télé, disons, et ils étaient excités pour moi.
And last but not least, Ottawa's current poet laureate and beloved barman of Elgin Street, it's David O'Meara. Thanks so much for being here, David. You're just coming hot off of Verse Fest. Did you discover a new favorite poet this year?
Oh, yeah. There's a few people I didn't know who showed up and were fantastic, and a few people I'd wanted to see that we invited. So there's always a nice mix of stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. To kick things off, I've asked the three of you to bring in an item that represents your relationship with Ottawa's nightlife. So let's play a little bit of show and tell to get to know you a little bit better.
I brought a T-shirt. I figured we'd be talking about this today. This is a T-shirt from the festival that I was the founding artistic director for. So this was Verse Fest, which just wrapped up its 16th year. And other than a couple of COVID bumps, it's been going strong, and there were full houses at all the events this year. So there it is, Verse Fest. That's the logo, and 16 years.
Amazing. Happy Sweet 16 Verse
Thank
Fest.
you.
Yolande, qu'est-ce que vous avez apporté et ça représente quoi?
Alors moi, j'ai amené mes lunettes fumées et honnêtement, je pense que un outfit, c'est beau, mais porter des lunettes fumées le soir, j'adore ça. Alors, je pense que ça complémente chaque outfit.
I brought the belt of all belts. This is what gives me my power, and I've been wearing it around my waist at different sizes, of course, over the past 31 years.
It's growing with you.
Performing in Ottawa, yeah. It has no choice. All those delicious hot dogs.
So is this a custom-made thing, or?
It is. Well, it was made by the gods, but I had a lot of input into it.
And I see
Valhalla.
your friend
Actually,
here has
forged.
a prototype.
Yeah, that was also forged by the blacksmiths of Valhalla to become the smaller belt of all belts.
Suddenly my T-shirt seems very insignificant.
So to start, to set the mood, David, I've asked you to do a reading for us today to give us kind of an atmospheric feel for nightlife.
Yeah, I've got a poem here. This is from an earlier book of mine. I often get in quite late, 3 or 4 in the morning after shift, and I always find that the cab drivers or Uber drivers are starting the day when I finish mine. So it was sort of inspired by that. This is called From a Dawn Taxi. Me, I start at 4, the cabbie says, then wrestles the gear shift till it grinds, finds its slot, hunkers down into first. The shortwave throws static, crackling out of Europe. It's a whole other day there, and he's already in it, while I'm in the back with night's final fringes. I like the slippery minutes of a dark and tiny hour. Only a few conspire with this cobalt blue air. The street lamps bead past my window like a string of lambent pearls, the darker gaps between them whipping softly across our faces, like frames you never see on a turning reel of film. The cabbie checks his clock, trades a thick accent with a hoarse voice at dispatch, then troubles the dial on his radio. Failed peace talks, late-breaking reports from the world. The car slips through amber, its taillights leaving the tinted street behind. The storefronts and corners, a bridge's arc, another morning in history. Yeah, it feels a little out of date with the dispatch.
Uber. Yeah.
That being said, I feel like the emotion of the poem still rings true today.
I was trying to capture a mood anyway. Yeah.
I'm going to start off with you.
Okay.
I'd like to know a little bit more about how working at the Manx, as long as you have, has impacted your career as a poet.
Well, I mean, bartending is kind of the classic artist's job because you can kind of shift your hours around and you have a little more freedom to go on tour or perform, etc. So I don't know if it's shaped my career, but it certainly has helped me do the things I want to do, writing, performing, going and doing readings, etc. So it's just a very great way to move around and change your schedule and make a little bit of money to keep your head above water, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ben, moi aussi, pendant un petit moment, j'ai travaillé comme bartender, mais maintenant, j'enseigne des leçons de musique privées. Alors, ça me donne la chance d'être plus flexible avec mon horaire en général. Puis, honnêtement, des fois, je trouve ça un peu difficile de balancer les deux, mais j'ai aussi tellement une passion pour ce que je fais et je trouve l'énergie pour le faire. Ouais, je le trouve à l'intérieur de moi, là.
Et est-ce que tes élèves ont jamais vu un propos de Yolande Laroche?
Peut-être pas Yolande Laroche, mais j'ai des élèves qui sont venus voir Pony Girl, puis ils étaient tellement cute, puis ils ont vraiment aimé ça.
Yeah, t'as plusieurs projets.
Oui, c'est ça.
It's safe to say that the three of you around the table are not strangers to me, and I feel like don't need an introduction, but maybe for you, Remi, I'm going to ask, can you tell the listeners at home a little bit about what you do and how you've made 30 years of Remi Royale this year possible in a city like Ottawa?
I'm a complete entertainer. I am a quadruple threat. I dance, I sing, I make people laugh, I embarrass myself. Those are the four things. But it's mostly I sing songs and I improvise and interact with the crowd. I have a wireless mic and I sing cheesy songs and then kind of just get into the moment.
Do you remember your first show?
Yeah, it was at the Duke of Somerset. And I guess it was like kind of a Barry White song, actually.
Okay.
It's, Qualified to Satisfy You, I believe. But back then, I had a band, and it was just an accordion player, a bass player, and a drummer. So, and I had a French accent and stuff, but the characters evolved a lot more since then. So.
Yolande, est-ce que tu te souviens le premier parfum de Pony Girl?
Oh mon Dieu, oui. On se situe à l'Université d'Ottawa. On s'est tous rencontrés là. Et il y avait un café, je pense que ça s'appelle Café Alt, dans le sous-sol. On a organisé un show et c'était, oh mon Dieu, j'avais tellement peur de performer. C'était ma première fois en train de chanter devant un public et je pense que je tenais le microphone comme genre ici et j'ai juste murmuré les mots. Pour moi, ça m'a marqué parce que c'était mon premier concert de ce genre. J'ai toujours fait des concerts orchestrales ou d'ensemble avant, de musique de chambre avant. C'est la première fois que j'ai eu un peu le goût d'être dans une bande. Puis j'étais comme, OK, j'ai eu peur, j'ai pas vraiment chanté, mais je veux continuer, je veux essayer.
As-tu bougé un petit peu ou t'étais...
J'étais figée.
Frozen.
Non, figée complètement. Et c'était correct. Ouais. Je pense qu'il y a juste peut-être 10 personnes qui ont vu ce show-là, alors pas de trouble du tout.
Ouais.
Il y a des photos.
En fait, j'ai une amie qui me l'a envoyé récemment parce que je pense que ça fait comme, 10 ans de ce concert-là. Ouais. C'était comme un memory on my Instagram. Ouais.
How about you, David? Any memories on your Instagram from Ottawa performances past?
Oh, thank God, no. There's no record of that.
We're from back in the old days where you could burn those photos.
Yeah, that's right.
Now you have to light your whole Instagram on fire, burn your phone, the whole internet.
I'm very grateful when I first started writing and reading poetry that there was no photos being taken.
It goes without saying that the three of you are part of pretty different scenes in Ottawa. We have an entertainer, a musician, a poet, but there's certainly overlap. I was wondering if the three of you could maybe speak to that overlap and what you've discovered maybe entering different spaces, if you've had any experiences that have stood out to you and doing that, what the support is like.
Well, Dave's a poet, and sometimes I delve into poetry. For example, there once was a man from Barhaven. No, just kidding.
But to that point, you were saying earlier the 4 things that you excel at. I also try to embarrass myself.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. A lot of experience to get as good at embarrassing yourself as me. Like we've done shows where there's been poets, like comedians, and music. It's some venues kind of, I like it when they mix everything together. It's good to have a bit because if you just have the same like 3 rock bands in a row, it's kind of boring.
Yeah, I think it's important to like have this intersection of different arts meeting. And for me as a musician who's in multiple bands and in also playing different genres, I've been finding that there's like so much more space these days for different styles of music, and also just being kind of like a chameleon, and just it's been really fun to explore the different spaces and how I can bring out different personalities with my music.
I once had a dog open up for me.
No way.
Yeah.
What kind of dog?
Claudette, the dancing poodle.
Wow.
Actually.
That's beautiful.
She pushed a little cart with a little puppy in it, like a little baby carriage, and yeah.
Another great intersection of 2 different art forms.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Claudette, the dancing poodle, has passed on. Aww. But the puppy that she pushed around in the carriage took over.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, a nice succession of talent there.
Understudy.
Well, may Claudette rest in peace. We'll dedicate this show to her. Yolande, comme un artiste francophone, c'est souvent que les artistes déménagent à Montréal ou autre part. Pourquoi as-tu resté ici à Ottawa ou plutôt Gatineau?
Ok, je peux-tu être honnête avec toi? J'ai grandi à Ottawa, à Orléans. Et honnêtement, là, j'étais comme tellement prête à quitter, là, comme as soon as possible. Mais j'étais allée à l'Université d'Ottawa et j'avais pas encore trouvé l'amour pour ma ville. Mais c'était vraiment en commençant à jouer avec Pony Girl, puis en explorant les scènes communautaires et artistiques. C'est là que j'étais comme, en fait, c'est très nice ici. Et c'est les gens qui m'ont incité à rester. Et surtout quand j'ai déménagé à Hull, c'est là que j'étais comme, OK, il y a vraiment une belle communauté. Il y a des freaks partout. J'adore tellement, comme, je veux être une freak, je veux être comme une artiste. Puis je pense que c'est vraiment possible ici. Et c'est comme ça que j'ai fait ma vie à Ottawa-Gatineau, dans l'Outaouais.
Super, merci aux freaks de Hull.
C'est ça, exactement.
How about you, David?
Well, every time I try to cross the border of the city, they drag me back in. I don't know. No, I don't know. I mean, I love all the stuff that goes on here. I've certainly got a whole bunch of friends, and there's a really great support system. It's a great place to work and write.
A great place to work and write should be like the sign as you enter the city, you know? And Remi, what are your thoughts?
Well, exactly like what Dave said, it's a good support system. The city's getting bigger. There used to be a bit more of a small town feel where all the bars were like downtown. Now it's spreading out more, Like there's bars in Canada that I've never been to, and those people have never really been downtown. So it's kind of changed, but like back in the day, like we all went to each other's shows. Like maybe there's 4 live bars. So then you'd be in each other's bands, and you'd always see. Ottawa has everything that I need, and maybe even there's less distraction that there is in other cities, bigger cities, where you get more work done and you're able to be more creative. I
mean, much to consider. There's lots of reasons to love Ottawa, and I think we're feeling that around the table. So I'd like to switch gears a little bit and now get into some hot takes. This or that. The rules are simple. I present you with 2 options. You choose the one that's your favorite, and you might have to defend it across the table.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with you, David. Picture this. You have a Sunday night alone to yourself, sometimes a rarity in your world. How are you spending it? Are you shooting pinball at House of Targ, or are you seeing the latest flick at the Bytown?
Probably House of Targ, yeah.
Okay. Are you a pinball wizard?
Just really like low ceilings.
Yeah. And then you got the Mayfair right across the street if you want to do both and save on some.
But those ceilings are too high.
Uber fare. Yeah, exactly.
Et Yolande, comme DJ, préférais-tu de jouer un spectacle aux dernières minutes à Igloo Fest ou Escapade?
Ben moi, je suis une fille d'été, alors je pense Escapade.
Okay,
ouais.
Escapade.
Ouais,
C'est dur sous les doigts.
Yeah.
Dans l'hiver.
And Remi, a question for you now. I'm wondering, imagine that you've wrapped up at the Manx. Worst case scenario, the kitchen's closed. You go outside, you have to choose a late night eat at Elgin Street Diner or the Zach's. Where are you going?
Oh, well, I had to stop going to Elgin Street Diner after my Manx performances because their onion ring poutine almost killed me. It was like every single time. And I mean, I love Zach's too. Zach's is newer to Elgin Street, of course. But I'd rather go to Zach's for breakfast.
Okay.
They got like those fries are like coated in stuff. And, but that Elgin Street onion ring poutine, like for 3-4 years, I think after each performance, and it's huge, and then go straight to sleep. That would put another notch in the belt of all belts.
Rest in peace to the onion ring poutine.
Oh, it's so good. My goodness, that dark gravy. Dark gravy.
Une autre question pour Yolande. Imagine que tes amis viennent à Ottawa pour la première fois. Tu les amèneras où? À un show métal à The Dominion Tavern ou peut-être pour du bluegrass chez The Lafayette?
Oh mon Dieu. OK. Je pense Lafayette, for sure.
OK.
Ouais, je pense que ce serait vraiment le fun. Mais en fait, je sais plus.
C'est dur.
Ouais, c'est difficile parce que Dominion Tavern, c'est super fun aussi, là. OK, je pense que ça va dépendre de mon ami. Est-ce que mon ami est plus chill ou mon ami veut comme une soirée, je pense.
Mais quand même, le bluegrass, ça peut être comme assez upbeat, you know?
Ouais, quand même. Je pense que je vais quand même rester avec ma réponse de Lafayette, mais ça va vraiment dépendre de la personne.
The added bonus of the Lafayette, Len the bartender is there, so another good Pembroke boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're originally from Pembroke.
Yes.
Some more lore being revealed. Okay, another question for you. This one is also Midnight Snack related. And I know that you're in the East End, so maybe this one speaks to you. If you're going down Rideau Street late at night, are you pledging allegiance to the Three Brothers or Shawarma Palace?
Shawarma Palace, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, by the Manx, there used to be a place called Marouche.
Yes.
And a friend of ours, Peter Kieswalter, wrote a song about it that went, Marouche, Marouche, the best Middle Eastern fare. Marouche, Marouche, for shawarma and donair. Marouche, Marouche, right near the Scotia Bank. Marouche, Marouche, on Elgin, south of Frank.
Marouche, Marouche, the best Middle Eastern fare. Marouche, Marouche, for shawarma and donair.
Very accurate. I remember it was down where
Datsun.
Datsun.
And all that stuff.
And there was a lineup up the stairs and halfway down the street
and so
after the bars closed.
Peter wrote the song for the Marouche man, and he was so into it. He had a cassette, and he'd play it in his ghetto blaster, and every 10 minutes he'd play it and then get up on the counter and dance. It was quite a spectacle.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
While taking orders.
While taking orders and shaving that beef.
That's right.
Do you know if he's still around?
No, they closed a while ago,
Yeah.
Dave. Yeah.
But the thing about Ottawa is there's one every block and a half, so you kind of don't. It doesn't need to be a destination. You can, if you just suddenly decide you need some, shawarma, you'll find one.
I remember Tony's Donair, one of the first shawarma places beside Barrymore's back in when I first moved to Ottawa in '84. I guess so good.
Wow. Major shawarma history.
Yeah, totally.
I want you all to imagine that you have a magic wand and you could transform Ottawa's nightlife just with the wave of your hand. You are the night boss. And for one night, you can make Ottawa's nightlife dreams come true.
And maybe we could transform a couple of Shoppers Drug Marts into some music venues.
Yeah.
Let's say you wanted to build your ideal music venue. What does that look like?
Ottawa for a while, and I think it's changing, but there was a while where we had either some great small clubs or we had like the stadium, and there was not a lot of middle ground, like 3,000 capacity kind of. So we did for a period miss a lot of good music, good entertainment that was coming through town, or they wouldn't come through town, they would skip it but now with the Bronson Center has been redone, history is opening up, there's a few other places that are larger spaces, and I think we're kind of entering a period where we're getting a really nice mix of different size venues for different kind of, whether it's music, readings, dance, etc. So I'm excited about that.
And how about you, Remi? What would you do as the night boss?
Oh my God, I'd just create a underground like tunnel system so that we could avoid the snow. And basically it'd just be like these tunnels where you can get from bar to bar, venue to venue, and kind of like the Morlocks, I guess, like from...
Or Carlton.
Yeah, like Carlton,
Yeah, I was going to say Carlton
So maybe
University.
we just move every single venue to Carlton, and then they get the hell out of there. And we take it over, and then that's just tunnels everywhere. And then you have kiosks with like wine and shawarmas, you know,
Nice.
in the tunnels and stuff. And yeah, maybe cots in case you want to just fall asleep randomly in some place.
Some may
But
say...
tunnels for sure. It's a whole network of tunnels.
Okay, we've got tunnels.
Heated tunnels,
Oh,
right? Because
yeah.
that's the whole point, is to avoid the snow and the slush.
So these are all great ideas. I think you should run for the next term of Nightlife Council when it opens up in the fall, and maybe you can advise some of these ideas
I'll
in the
bring my
future.
shovel.
Shovels in the ground.
Yeah.
Avant qu'on quitte, do you have any parting words for our audience at home?
I would say try to make art no matter what. It doesn't have to be professional. Just make art. Just feed your soul.
People who like to say that Ottawa's boring, they're generally the people who have never lived here. And I think when they say these things, they are advertising their lack of imagination, because there's lots going on here and lots of exciting things.
I agree. It's a lack of imagination. It's not a boring city. It's just boring people who can't figure it out. Sorry to call those people out, but fun is what you make it, and that's what it is. If you can't have fun, you just can't have fun.
Thanks so much, you three, for joining me again on the show today. What are we doing after this?
Going out.
Getting an onion ring poutine.
Performing a song.
That's right. I've asked one of our esteemed guests, Yolande Laroche, to perform exclusively here live at FONO, one of her songs that's not yet been released. Voici Yolande Laroche avec sa chanson I Want Your Body, ici live chez FONO au Centertown.
Love is a table you wanna sit at. I hope that I am your love. I hope that I am your love. If love is a fable you wanna swallow, I hope that I am your love. I hope that I am your love. Get your body right. Get your body right. Get your body right. Get your body right. I want your body up. Get your body right. Give me a body all night. Get your body right. I want your body up.
Et voilà, c'est le tout premier épisode d'Ottawa la nuit. Merci encore à nos premiers invités. Tune in next time to experience what happens when Ottawa's favorite wax-spinning DJ swaps places with a new kid on the block. Keep up with the Ottawa Nightlife office on our website at ottawanight.ca and on Instagram at OTTNightNuit. Comme vous avez probablement remarqué, nous utilisons le français et l'anglais comme c'est toute la coutume ici à Ottawa. And if you're looking for a completely accessible version of this podcast, you can go to the City of Ottawa's YouTube channel. And to learn more about accessibility, visit ottawanight.ca/podcast.